Hi, welcome. Simon here, and hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll be doing a motherboard replacement on a Dell Inspiron computer, and the model of this is P39G001. Okay, so that is the model in the back, and I do have a replacement motherboard here. That motherboard model is NK49R in Dell Inspiron model 5481. This is a 2-in-1 motherboard system that runs on an Intel i3, and those are the description and details of this product. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. What I need is just a regular Phillips screwdriver, and I'll be using a Phillips PH1. That is the Phillips 1, and let's go ahead and start removing the screws. Looks like there are 4 screws here at the very bottom of the computer. What I recommend you to do is when you remove the screw, you might want to position the screw in a way that you remember where the screw belongs to. Later on, when you put them back together, it will be a lot easier to do so. One of the comments that I received is somebody suggested to take a picture of the computer, print out that picture in a piece of paper. As you remove the screw, you might want to just put the screw on top of that paper as a reference, so you know that each of the screw belongs to that what am I trying to say, belongs to where it's supposed to be. Okay, so it looks like the screw here on the top left, the one in the middle, and the top right screw, they do not come off. It looks like they're just kind of stuck in that position, which is normal. Some of the screws that do not come off just because they want you to unscrew it and give you an access where it will separate the back cover like such. Alright, I will just remove the entire back cover like so. Here you can see the internal part of your laptop, actually the whole thing of the computer. Let me quickly walk you through to identify what you're looking at. This is the M.2 SSD drive. This is where it holds your Windows, your data, or the program is stored in this hard drive M.2. There are 2 slots of RAM. The computer is pre-installed with one of the DDR4 RAM. You can actually add additional RAM here if you want to speed the computer up. It runs on a DDR4. To remove the RAM, all you have to do is to push these 2 little metal brackets, push it away from each other, and then the RAM will just pop up at 45-degree angle and just remove it. Here you can identify this is a PC4 RAM, 4 gigabytes. You can do 4 and 4, that would be 8. Or you can do 8 and 8, that would be 16. So at this point here, you want to make sure that the RAM slot is slotted correctly right into the motherboard like such. Okay, and to install it, once you slide it in at 45-degree angle, to install it, simply just press it right in the middle in the center, where the 2 clipper will just clip and lock it back in. Alright, so I'm going to remove the RAM and put this on the side. This is the battery. You need to kind of peel that little tape back and slide the connector down. Okay, you need to remove and disconnect the connector. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit so everybody can see more details about what is going on here. There are 4 screws holding down the battery, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you remove the 4 screws, disconnect the battery connector. You then now can remove the entire battery. Right, you can see that my battery is flat. There's no lump on the battery. Okay, if your battery is not holding charge, and if your battery is swollen or there's a lump onto the battery, then more likely you need to replace the battery. This is the model number here for the battery is YRD-D6. And what I'll do is I'll link it down in the description below. Go check the link. I'll direct you to either Amazon or eBay where you can find a replacement battery. Alright, the next step is to disconnect the speaker. Slide this connector down. The speaker here connects to the left, runs around, and connects to the right speaker. Okay, so that's for speaker. This is your keyboard. Go ahead and lift up that little black connector and slide the flex cable down. Go ahead and lift up the white clipper that is for your trackpad and slice that cable down. This is your CMOS battery. The CMOS battery can be disconnected by sliding down the connector like so. Use a Phillips screwdriver. Go ahead and remove that one screw. That one screw here, once you remove it, you can slide that M.2 SSD drive to your left and to remove it. Now this is the mini version of M.2 SSD drive. If you're looking into getting the full size M.2, you can actually do so by just simply moving this little slot to further down and to get yourself a full size M.2 SSD. Still using the same screwdriver, the Phillips screw. Go ahead and remove the tiny little screw here with the bracket. That would remove your Wi-Fi card. Remember, the white cable here is on the far right and the black cable is on the far left, and slide that little Wi-Fi card towards the body to remove it. Okay, now this is the CPU fan. CPU fan, go ahead and remove the two screws, 1 and 2, and that would actually get the CPU fan out. Remember, now the tape is still taping down the wire. To remove that tape, just simply peel it off and slide the connector to your left. So kind of just push it and slide at the same time, and that's how you remove the CPU fan. CPU fan model can be identified right here. I believe is called CN-0G0D3G. That is the model of the fan. Alright, so let's go ahead and kind of remove the heatsink. We need to transfer the heatsink to the new motherboard. There are 4 screws holding down that CPU heatsink. And this is the good time for you to check the thermal paste. If the thermal paste is all dried up like mine, if you can see that it is it's still moist, but it's dry at the same time. And what you want to do is go ahead and clean off that using an alcohol pad. You can get this alcohol wipes, which is good enough to remove the thermal paste. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on to the next step. We have to disconnect the DC jack. This is the DC jack that is charged the computer. Slide the connector away from your body and just leave it open like such. Now this is where there's a little tape here. It's taping down that little metal connector. If you pay very close attention to it, at the very bottom here there's a little metal clipper. Flip it open and slide that cable away from you. Okay, that is for your LCD, and this one here is probably for your webcam or the microphone. Slide it away from you. Alright, that's pretty much it. Last but not least, there's one more cable here which is connected to the USB I/O board on the left. All you have to do is to pop open that little metal clipper and slide the cable to your left to remove it. Double check everything is all disconnected. Now we're going to move on to the next step, is to remove the screw on the motherboard. There are going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws. Okay, once you remove all the 4 screws, go ahead and open up the motherboard, slide it out. You're all good to go. Where do you find the model here? Take a look at here. You should be able to identify that says 04K49R. That is the model of the motherboard. Take a look at the attention. That is the little burn mark right there. Okay, that is the little burn. What do you call that? A capacitor maybe. That is burnout. Then yeah, so That's why the motherboard doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to put this motherboard on the side. Bring me the new motherboard here. Making sure it's the same model. Take a look. Okay, it's the same 04K49R. What is this? Silicon bins. All right, I am going to have the motherboard installed, making sure all the cables, all the flex cables are sitting above the motherboard. You do not want them to go underneath, because when you put the screws back in, it will be holding that cables underneath. That's not what you want. Okay, so one screw, this is the second screw. The third screw is going to be here. So 1, 2, 3, where the fourth screw go? Right here. Okay, I'm going to apply some thermal paste here because the CPU needs to have some thermal paste. Okay, that should be more than enough. Just a tiny little bit, and you want to have the Wi-Fi cable to be slide in first. Okay, while you put the heatsink on top of it, and do not tighten the screw all at once. What you want to do is just tighten a little bit and then keep going back and finish the rest of it. Okay, so the screw, when you tighten up the screw, what I like to do is to go 1 or 2 rounds, or 2 or 3 rounds. So go ahead and tighten little by little, come back and finish up the rest. The reason why, because if you going to tight one of the screw real tight, what happen is that you're going to squeeze all the thermal paste pushing to where the screw is not tightened yet. So you're going to get pushed over. By the time when you tighten it up, you're probably going to spread out away from it. So you might have very little here. So if you go little by little, you're pushing the metal evenly down towards the paste. Just a theory, you know, it's not, I'm not saying it is the right way to do it. I'm just saying it's a theory. Hopefully that theory works. If it helps a little bit, why not? Okay, I'm gonna slide the webcam connector back in. So right now we're just pretty much installing everything back together. Making sure that little metal clip here is open before you slide it down, and push it all the way in. Okay, be very careful with the pin. The pin are very tiny. Once you push it in, okay, once you push all the way in, press the metal and have the metal to click and clip it down and put the tape to fasten it up. Okay, do not forget the RAM. Let's go ahead and install the RAM. Slide it in, 45-degree angle, and push it down. Speaker, let's get the speaker back in. Slide the speaker here like such. Make sure the clipper is open. Slide a keyboard in and close it down. Trackpad, open up the white clipper and slide a cable in. And close it down. This is the CMOS battery. Go ahead and reconnect them back together. And we're going to connect the fan. I like to push that cable in first. Okay, once the cable is in, align the fan like such. Okay, align that cable and have the 2 screws back in. holding down the fan. Okay, at this point here, I like to slide this cable to my right. Just slide it in, making sure that the metal bracket is open, okay? Maybe the best is to install the cable first before the CPU fan, but anyway, be patient, you should be able to do it. And then close that metal clipper and close it down. Next is your Wi-Fi card. It says WLAN, stands for Wi-Fi LAN, maybe. I don't know, stands for Wi-Fi or WAN. Okay, the white cable goes to the far right and the black one goes to the far left. And to install it, all you have to do is to make sure the connector circle is sitting on top of the connector, making sure that the circle is sitting on top of it, and then just close it down. Align the bracket, have the tiny little screw go back on top of it, and that should fasten and secure the Wi-Fi. Okay, that's all done. Work on to the next is the M.2. Slide it in, tiny little screw. Not sure why they give you the small size of the M.2. They should have given the full size of it. Connector for the battery, slide it all the way back to the top, tape it down, and we just need to have the 4 screws holding down the battery. Okay, once you're all done with all that, do not forget, just have the bracket, close it down, the back cover, just crunch it, close it down. And finishing up with the screw. If you find this video is helpful, please go ahead and smash the like button for me. I really appreciate you for doing that. And again, if you want to show appreciation and you want to share your gratitude, there's a super thanks you can click on. The YouTube super thanks allow you to do donation to show me the gratitude and your appreciation to support my work as well as my channel. And I would like to say thank you for doing that, and I really appreciate you for the gratitude. For those of you who do not have the YouTube super thanks, you can also do the PayPal. I have them linked in the down description below. And as a reminder, for those of you who wants to do a replacement on your battery, adding more RAM to your computer, adding more hard drive, or maybe changing out the motherboard like I do, check the link down in the description below. The link will direct you to either Amazon or eBay, where you can find the parts and the tools for this repair. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll be turning on the computer. Hopefully there's still battery on it. It doesn't seem like there's a battery, so let me get the plug it in. Easy plug. Okay, there's the charging port. Voila, this white light comes on and is charging the computer. Probably it's gonna take a while for the battery to charge up, but anyway, This is it. We just replaced the motherboard. Hopefully this video is helpful. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye now.